At it again. So I'm back. Let's just call this a test run, whatever you like to call it. I just want to look at that little screen over there. It's making me mad. It is, it really is. Angry. I did that. I pressed that because I want to see what happens when I do that. But I don't do that because then you guys won't be able to see me. So I apologize. There we go. Now I do that. Okay. So I would just like to start by saying that that highly upset me. I tested the app out to make sure to be okay today. And then I just had this very disturbing, I wouldn't say conversation, but I would say, I don't know, what do you call crap like this? Hey, Wise, how you doing? It's been, I can't even say it's been a day because it's just like happened all in like an hour and some change. And I'm feeling some kind of way right now. And I'm still holding back, but I do have something I want to ask because somebody's got to say it. Because I know I'm not, tripping here, but I can't look at that screen. It's messing me up. Uh, so this is what I've been noticing. And let me tell you, I don't know, people are mentally just gone from reality. But in any situation that goes on, we clearly know how, I don't know, should I just speak for Americans? Why not? Since we clearly know that it happens here. Election time, anything, when the mask was being worn, you just see the most appalling behavior from people. And I'm just like, what the is going on here when people can't just talk to one another? People act like immature, newborn, I don't even know what to call it, when, especially in this time right now, what's going on. Nothing is clear, nothing. But yes, still people are making decisions and so sure about them. That's fine. Do you, boo boo? But when your behavior turns into aggression and any type of violence or disrespect because you have freedom of speech to other people, that's when you need to stop representing anybody and take several seats. We don't want, no, we don't claim her or him. Stop saying you're American. You know what I mean? Because that's what people think. So like, come on. That's what you want people to see of you, that you know how to go out there and insult people that don't make the same choices as you, because that's what we're really dealing with here. Your personal choices and your choices you make for yourself and your family. I stand behind people being able to protect their bodies and protect themselves with their own will and right. And just as well as I respect people that decide to, it's the same thing. If you're taking something or you're not, you're still deciding for your own body, yourself. So how come people can't find to do that? I know I can respect people both sides. You want to know why? Because I respect human life, human beings. See, that's why I tell people you've got to start at home. Seriously, start at home with installing what respect means and boundaries mean, and not to be a sucker to any and everything what they mean, but actually stay in your lane and boundaries and respect other people. And if they respect you, then keep it moving and less asked. And this is the thing. A lot of the people will walk around and probably say, oh yeah, I have empathy, oh, I have respect, oh, all these things. And some of them, no judgment, no one judged, walk around and say that they're a child of God. I'm just like, oh my God, you are. Really? And you're out here damn near wanting people's heads on a platter because they won't make the same choice you made because you're so right. And that's where we go wrong every single time. Everybody's so right about everything, religion, politics. The list goes on. Nobody's ever humble. Nobody ever says, I'm not 100% sure. There's room for error, but there's room to grow and to learn and get more information. Nobody says that. I can't respect that. When I see people aren't willing to allow themselves to consider things, or because that's what growth is called. That's called, and also called critical thinking. But that's why you see people grown ups acting like toddlers when it comes to situations that are life or death, and they get upset when their beliefs are challenged. You know what I mean? And like, what? So how does that work for you? How does your belief system work? That's what I'm asking some people. And like, when do you stop believing stuff? And who do you believe? And why do you believe them? Because I trust nobody. I don't care what you wear, what seat you sit in, where you work at, what level you. That means nothing to me. You know why? Because you're a human being and you could be lying. That's smart judgment, to question everything. Because if you don't, what you think happens? If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. But the point though is, how do you maintain a certain, you always have to have a foundation. It's got to be a foundation, and somebody has to keep that foundation firm, right? Apparently, since no one can do it, somebody's got to do it. So when is anybody going to start doing it? Because I'm going to tell you right now, it's not working. Is this right here, people? Because see, this is what I see. I see people. I'm tired of even saying non-vaccinated and vaccinated. Okay, now it's like the whole black and white. Now here we are. I'm just like, this can't make this stuff up. And that's why I feel like I feel bad. I shouldn't even call it children because they do better than this. What do you call this? Please, people, do better at home. I call this some bullshit. People should be able to feel a way they want to feel. And if they're not bothering anybody, then sit down somewhere and leave people alone. Stop being the problem. One minute people feel that way and they're out there chanting pro-vax, pro-life, no life, and then now we're here and it's like, never learn anything from any of these situations. Never learn. Nobody ever learns because it's the same behavior. And you know what really is crappy is that people are dying and people are playing the blame game and they have no idea what they're talking about. Nobody knows nothing, not one person. Because if we did, then why would we be here? We wouldn't be here. People believe what they want to believe. Go ahead. But somebody should have taught you how to deal with acceptance and being able to not freak out when somebody suggests. Like I heard one person say to somebody, you should do your research and make sure that you're comfortable, that you know what you're doing. And they just got so offended. I was like, I don't believe people that these researchers like that don't know research. I'm like, hell, what's going on here? Like you need some kind of degree to do some research, please. Because let me tell you something. For so many years, people were lied to about where they came from and who they are and all this stuff. So don't even start with me and act like things are just rainbows and butterflies with stars and stuff. And everything here has been like out of freaking, can't even think of one. Cartoons are horror. Well, too. Is there any cartoons that have like a good happy ending and beginning? Is there any show or TV or any movies that have a good like all the way through? Or is there always like a bad part? I never thought about that. Goodness, even Bambi had land before. No, I even heard Mickey Mouse and Goofy are feuding. I heard a rap. I didn't know Mickey Mouse could rap. I saw right through that shit. So now little kids listen to that and get them pumped up too. People better get it together and take care of your health. You see what I said? Your health. Don't be out there making it worse for people that if you truly care and you're trying to educate people, if you know what you're talking about, go ahead and give useful information and stop telling people just to poke themselves. That's stupid. If you really know, then give them information about what it is. But if not, then you should be quiet. I'm dead serious. Be quiet because people are not okay in all situations and nobody's giving a crap about people that are concerned. Don't be concerned, just do it. What does that even mean? It's not right. We are all human beings. And once we get on that divided, that we do so well here, division, then it says a lot about people. That growth has never been anything that you have accepted. I don't get it. I don't get why people are so easily just riled up in these times right here when people need each other the most. When can United States become united? Because we're on the black and white thing for hundreds and hundreds, 400, 500, how many years? You know, and then all the other, and then here, when are people going to start treating people better, helping one another? What can I do for you? How can we help? Instead of off with her head. Like the freak is going on here? But let it be the flip side, and the same people that are, you know what I mean, will be spazzing about something else, or they're being, like I just treat people how you want to be treated. Because life has a funny way of doing that, putting people in situations to teach them better. That's called karma. And then we wonder why the world is in such an uproar. And we need to probably be pointing the fingers at ourselves and asking ourselves, how are we accountable for any of this or anything? What part do you play? Can you say you're doing, what do you call it, due diligence? Are you doing a great job? Do you think you're doing good because you're out there telling people that they need to die because they took it? They need to die because they didn't? Are you doing that? No, you're not helping. You're the problem. Take a lot of seats, like a whole lot. Okay. Matter of fact, go home. You're on lockdown. How about that? Because you are not helping. That's putting people in danger when you fuel people up like that. And then it makes you wonder, do you really care about people really getting healthy? Because if you do, then why would you ostracize, say you wish they were dead? I mean, like, get it together. Which one is it? So I ask you, what is empathy to you? Do you even know what empathy is? It's just a word. I don't know. Respect, honesty, integrity. Because I tell you this much, if that's people's thinking, there's none of that in there. Nada. Some people say it takes a lot for people to to um to embrace those qualities. Maybe, but I'm gonna go out on a limb and say I don't think it's hard because once again, treat people how you want to be treated. If you don't want to be treated like crap, you shouldn't treat people like crap. That makes no sense. It makes no sense. Makes no sense. So I just wanted to say real quick too before I go finish up the last of this. I just came on to test to to test this out. Um, for this there was a some technicalities. The worst I had ever seen on HAPS. So I went and addressed it. I really possibly, most likely, don't plan on until things are different, because it's still scheduled for days now. And that's something that was important to me. And I'm already just like, so I just wanted to say, but I just, that was my guest and partner from the Real Wise Productions, Anthony Gonzalez, aka Poppy J. He has a book that will be out sometime in August called The Plush Life, and from prison to peace. And so, and he's going to be on a cast and radio and whatever else. He can, or we will be on. But be definitely on the lookout if you are a coordinator or if you want to just spread the word. It's free. Apple, and free. Have a place to store our app and give it a review, pass the word along, and let's start doing something positive. You should listen because I'm for you not to. Everybody likes some radio, some music, some content, so why not? And I'm pretty sure you haven't heard or found another like it. So, it's hot up in here. Definitely on that note, I'm not going to talk mess to you anymore. I'm going to pray for you guys because it's an amazing platform. That's why I come back. I think it's the best. I always I'm starting to get a little offended there, but for a minute I was choice to not to not be offended and just, hey, if it's helping other people and they're having a smooth ride on it, then I'll choose to keep doing that. But it's empathy, kindness. If anything, if you ever were in a situation where you were in need and you needed help and it was a dire situation, how would you want to be treated? What if you're on the flip side? So don't just cut people off and not want to grow or learn, or don't accept or even embrace, listen, entertain other people's views and thoughts too, because it is vital that you do. And it shows maturity or not, if you can handle it. Because you don't even have to agree, but to just already just have this type of atmosphere, this environment right here, nobody wants to deal with that. Not at all whatsoever. I know I don't. Um, I've heard some disturbing things that I'm just choose not to even. I don't even want to engage, because we see, and I think personally it's a whole lot bigger than what it is. I think it's really people need to I just keep saying it comes down to just doing better. And think about this too, I'm gonna say. Um, so some people aren't meant to teach, right? Because with that comes tolerance, patience, understanding, all that stuff, right? Because things can get frustrated. And depending on what you're teaching, who you're teaching, sometimes you teach adults, children, whatever. So it's always age groups, and it still comes with patience, right? You just can't flip out just because something you don't want to hear. I'll give you two examples, okay? Like there has been, and there are some teachers out here that will, and I've seen it, usually in the older, like middle, junior high, high school, that a student will, with great reason and great questions, because you would think that's what we're teaching them to do, to think, right? Aha, they took that out of the lesson. John D. Rockefeller took that out, the critical thinking. right? Some people still possess it. And they challenged what they were they're teaching and just made some statements, asked some questions. Teacher lost their damn mind. And it was as if, don't question me, this is what I said type of stuff. And it's like, well, clearly what's been happening here has not been teaching, it's been programming. Because teaching, when you truly are teaching, those, you embrace those things, you especially the context that the student is giving, it's appreciated and it makes you want to teach more. So that's how you can tell that no, that's not teaching. Mm-mm. So it's not for everybody, right? And then I got one more before I go. There was this girl on social media. Oh, Dios mío. I'm laughing because I'm just picturing her hand, right? I'm going to say excuse me, my language, but I have to. She was like, look, if you motherfuckers ain't gonna listen, I tried to answer your question. You didn't want. I was just like, hmm, yeah, yeah. So the delivery, she might have had I don't know. She might have thought she had a heart in it, and they probably were asking some really crazy questions. And I know how they can get. People probably said some really ignorant things, and then some people will just mess with you just to mess with you. But she just came off already aggressive, like you stupid. Like, did anybody force you to come on here and try to teach the Bible? Yeah, I think she was teaching the Quran or something. I don't know, but that was her attitude during the whole process, and I was thinking like, wow, damn, people really think because they call it teaching that that's what they doing. Who the hell's gonna listen to that crap? And who teaches the Bible like that? Call them dumb. Oh my God, that's funny. But that's my point. Just because you're trying to teach them what you know, you're epic fail. You have to have patience. I've seen people be able to. I've seen this one girl do it so eloquently as people insulted her for her Christianity in general. And to be honest with you, I listen to people. See, that's what I can do that. You know what I mean? Without, and she still kept it so just respectful because when you give, you can even get it, but yeah. And then she already knew what she was up against, and she was confident in what she was doing. And then all that did was just show them they're the people that throw insults. Those are the people that look like fools, you know, all the time. Those show people's true colors. Because if you can't talk to somebody with respect, and that's how you talk to people, then that's on you. That's on you. Um, I have one more thing I want to say before I go. That I just feel so horrible about. So not too long ago, there's a 10-year-old, look it up, 10-year-old that took his own life. He's a young African American boy. I say this because a lot of times you don't get brown children don't get recognition a lot. You got to like standards research to find out this type of stuff sometimes. I know when I first began truly looking into bullying a few years ago, after just seeing how heinous it was in schools, I went home one. I wonder, actually, something had happened. I went on lunch break from the school, and then something happened in LA that morning. Something just happened. Parents school to see about resale. I was baffled because there's so many, and it already goes like that. School shootings and suicide and all that stuff already doesn't get much coverage. So that was damn near nothing. But there was many and very young ages, younger than 10. So this boy here, he got made fun of because he was wearing a was a colonoscopy bag for his bowels because he had a condition and with many surgeries, and it didn't take and basically damaged, and so he had to wear one. And children just made fun of him, terribly every day, all the time, every day. Yeah. If that didn't top it, Um, I wish I could sit here and say that I'm surprised that I've witnessed. See, the thing here is that little boy was failed. They failed him because they knew his situation. Sometimes you just can't wait for the chance to happen. You just already know what you're working with. You know how children are. See, for the simple fact that it went on for so long, nobody did nothing, as if we're unaware, really, to don't care. Like it could be so many. Was he not important? Somewhere, some ass is sitting there trying to make it out to possibly be his or his mother's fault, right? Because that's what people do, right? That's what the scum does. That's great. As somebody's life is still this young boy. Let me tell you something. Children are children. Let's use this word here, children. Their mindset is completely different. It's fragile. And, you know, prior to hearing that, right before I heard that, today was my group I host in Angle. It's a community kind of like Clubhouse, but more small, more intimate in setting. It's a wonderful community, actually. Shout out to Angle. So today I have shows I host every week. Today was the actual show, mental health and what this means for children. And then that came up. I didn't do the room today because I was working on setting up for the interview for on here and then responding to guests that I had reached out to already. That's what I've been doing all day long. I heard that. Just that was okay. I broke my heart. I cried a little. I cried. It was just like an ache because I just was like feeling for that child because it wouldn't have to have gotten to that point for me to know how much pain he was. Let me say this again. That saying, it takes a village. However you got to put it. We need to do better at home, damn sure at home, in the schools. You can't let children play around with each other like that's not cool. You I used to stop that shit immediately because I don't like it. I do not like bullying. I never have, even when I was younger. I don't like this. I don't like when people make fun of other people. I don't care. I don't have to know you or to have or upset that someone is making you feel that way. That's what empathy is. It's not towards just the people you know. No, that's not it at all whatsoever. Um, I used to tell my kids, because those are teaching moments. There's teaching moments, there's consequently you handle stuff, stuff like that. And it's not in a manner where you're in trouble, call your mom, blah, blah, this and that. Because what are you teaching? It's a teaching moment. Already children how to treat one another. That's how they learn. Teach them why that's not okay. Teach them. Already possibly say, and look around. You think people in this world just suddenly one day became jerks, assholes, like dictators, just crap like that? uh, or just great people too. No, it's because their values and how they were brought up. It's important. Do you understand that? Yeah, I don't even understand this world more. That's not like I ever really did. What if it was you? What if it was your child? Whoever those children were that thought it was okay, they did that. Someone allowed that to go on at his expense, and we need to start talking to our children and not just, like what was happening. What does anybody have, or just letting them watch? I don't know. I don't freaking know because everybody seems to know everything about everything else, be experts on everything else. We're so busy telling people what to do with their bodies. I go home and do something with children for God's sakes, you know, because this is good. He's healthy to this I've been working on for damn near 2.5 years now by myself, but that's okay. That's what I think that was doing. I see that people really don't get it or they don't care. I don't know, but but we have to do better. Uh, if you are at a school, if you're a teacher or administrative at a school, and you over and over again and you did nothing, see, because from my experience, when I was at working, was in kindergarten, right? No, first grade. In first grade, I would say one foundation for families and children. I went to school for no, that's when I was medical. No, that was business, and then I ended up working there for school. Yeah, I went to school and then I got the job there. I did intern and then I got the job, and so I'll come every day, pick my son up, and still I would like volunteer. I'm that mom. Okay, I'm gonna be up here. I'm gonna be around here. I'll be around places so much I get jobs. I know how to network. But that became my family. So I stayed there until my son grew up in that school. So I saw stuff, I saw the because kids can be, if you don't teach them or if you just let it just be, pretty mean, pretty hasty to one another. And are you going to allow it or not? See, at that school, Evangeline Roberts, missed that school, Michelle Malvo, she didn't let those things go on. She addressed them. Hands down, one of the most amazing we have here in this community in San Diego is that woman there. Your child is ever in her care or in her teaching or whatever, she was the principal and she taught, then you know that your child is going to get the best of everything because she truly, truly cared for all the children, especially in that community there. Like she hands down, I just thank her so much for everything she still does for us to this day. Because you don't find people like her. And Instructor Billy Moore from the ABC Youth Center. That is people that stand for something and have integrity and they care for children, no matter what they look like, no matter what color they are. They stand for their children in their community. They do everything for them. The children are children, and it's all about them, what they need. The that school there, and she handled it, and made it a safe place for everybody. Even if employees had like things going on, she would discuss to take care of and That's somebody that has a service, that's giving a service and that has integrity. Because not everybody has to be, and you can be anybody with any badge or any position and not. Um, so, you know, school, all that. So the other overall, that's right. So I'll make a long story short with this one, because the point is I'm making here, you have to create safe places for children. Children shouldn't have to go to school to be harassed and bullied. They're supposed to go to school to learn, but definitely not go to school to be attacked or anything and no one do anything. That should not be okay. And someone should be held accountable for that, because parents should be able to trust that their kids are safe when they go to school. Or because if not, if you can't handle it, then you shouldn't be having a school. Pretty much. Not okay. Nope. And if you don't like children, I don't know what it is, but if you can't handle it or you don't like children, whatever it may be, get to stepping. I wouldn't keep you around, never, because children deserve the best. They need to be protected. They need to be guided, taught in the correct manner, able to grow the way they need to grow, not manipulated. None of that stuff. None of it. But to not feel safe where you're supposed to be going to learn. So the support wasn't there for my child, and I watched it happen. It's not one of those situations. Well, are you sure it's not your son? But it wasn't those, and they knew it too. He wasn't him. But it's the fact that no one gave a shit. No one gave a shit. When you don't do right by people, you don't do right by children either. I wonder how that's going to play out for someone. No matter what time it is in life, that's bad news, bad energy. That's not a great. That's not of a good nature. It's not okay. And so I had to do what I had to do, and I took him out of that school. And then I went to another school, and then it got physical, and no one did nothing. So the point I'm trying to make here, because I don't want, because it's gonna just. I don't know. All I can think of sometimes at this point is just asking people to consider, what if it were you? Some people don't give a crap. I know this. Don't have to give a crap. Some people will even say it. You know, a little bit that tickles me in my heart, because I already know what your future setting forth in this world is going to be. And it's not going to be of a good nature. Things, when you have that type of energy, the world has a way of sending. Why do you think hateful people are always so angry and so bent out of shape? You ever see anybody that's a hateful person that hates people for the way they look, their color, or anything? Have you ever seen just one just be happy and just be like, "Oh, it's a beautiful day," and just have a kind soul? No, can't. Can't share the same space. It's impossible. That's why you can see through fake people when they try to smile or have to mask it. It's impossible. So I'm gonna say on this note, I just wanted to talk about moment of silence, whatever it is, you can look it up. I'm just kind of overwhelmed. Um, I'm just happy I have outlets and ways to just be okay. And for anybody that's not okay, if that triggered anybody knows anybody, you know, there's a mass amount of information out there to get help. Like uploading my website with more information about how to obtain that. Like very much so, and just know that people are here, are there for you, and we just have to try to do this together. We have to. We should be able to help one another. There's nothing wrong with it. People should be able to count on other people. And if you're not one of those people, then I pray for you anyway and hope that you don't ever have to be in a situation where it's turned around and that same care, kindness, concern you didn't give doesn't happen to you. So on that note, so hot. I think I'm still gonna make dinner. Dinner was good last night though. Oh, I was sweating. I was sweating. It's not doing what it was doing before, so I came on here to